update in his first public comments since his election loss. He once again refused to acknowledge that Joe Biden is the winner, saying, and I'm quoting the president right now, "I guess time will tell." He did not take any questions from reporters who were there in the Rose Garden. Our political commentator, Van Jones, is with us. Our senior negotiator, former Republican Governor John Kasich of Ohio is joining us, and our chief White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, is back with us as well. Van, let's listen to the president in his own words.
Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration will be. I guess time will tell.
So he's obviously still refusing to concede. Did not take, as I said, any questions from reporters. But what's your response to what we just heard? Because there was a nuance there. It was a bit different than what he's been tweeting. Rigged election, fraud, all that kind of stuff, saying he would be in the White House for another 4 years. He stopped short this time.
Yeah, he almost caught himself. The next thing he should have said, the new administration, the next administration, he caught himself. He did some Trumpism and tried to move on. It seems like he's finally beginning to move through the stages of grief. He got stuck in denial for a very, very long time. Maybe he's coming to the end of that and is going to move to the other stages. He's embarrassing himself. He's embarrassing the country. If I were a Republican, I would be frustrated with this behavior because he is risking the health and safety of the American people. You got to prepare for a transition. It's every soldier, sailor, Air Force person, Marine around the world is in danger because our government is not being prepared for literally the January.
Because Governor Kasich, the results of the election are abundantly clear to everyone who's looking. How stunning is it to see the president standing there in the Rose Garden so many days after Election Day, refusing to acknowledge reality?
It's like Alice in Wonderland. And even people who are very strong Trump supporters are just shaking their head and say, let's get on with it. And I very much appreciate what the man just said about the national security issue. I will tell you, I talked to Senator Langford from Oklahoma yesterday and complimented him because he was one of the first to come out and say they need to be able to get the national security briefing. And at the same time, of course, the inability for him to speed up the transition means it hinders economic recovery. And it also probably hinders, I'll bet it also hinders the distribution of the vaccine. So it's just crazy. I wonder how many people around him are saying, oh yeah, you won, because, there's just no place for this. It's unacceptable and it's embarrassing for our country. But he's getting over it. I think Van's right, and he's got to remember, denial is not a river in Egypt,
That's correct. Jim, give us a little bit of a sense of what's going on behind the scenes over at the White House. Are his top advisors actually pushing the president to accept the results of this election, be gracious about it, do the right thing, welcome the incoming president of the United States to the White House, start all those transition briefings, which every other incumbent president who lost an election quickly emerged to do?
Well, there are some advisors who are urging him to do that. There are also some friends of the president. You saw Geraldo Rivera making those comments earlier today. Geraldo is almost sounding like a hostage negotiator. He's playing the role of Denzel Washington or something in this hostage drama, it seems, with him talking to the president and trying to talk him out of, hanging in there beyond where, constitutionally he can hang in there. But I will tell you, talking to advisors close to the president, I talked to one just recently today who said he is never going to concede defeat. Now, that's different than, leaving office, exiting the Oval Office. I haven't talked to too many Trump advisors or aides who believe he'll just cling to the resolute desk in the Oval Office and he'll have to be carried out. But he is going to make this difficult for everybody and try to exercise all of these challenges in these various courts, even though his lawyers are bailing on him in certain states and so on. But no question about it, there is a hardcore staff around the president, people like the White House press secretary. You heard Peter Navarro in our piece just a few moments ago. They are enabling the president at this point and allowing him to continue to live in this twilight zone where he somehow thinks he can pull this out and remain president in January.
All this comes, Governor Kasich, as CNN, as you know, is now projecting that Joe Biden will win the state of Georgia, which means he will emerge with 360 246 electoral votes to President Trump, 232. By the way, that's the same margin that Trump beat Hillary Clinton back in 2016. The big difference is Hillary Clinton had some 2.9 million more popular votes than Trump. In this particular case, Biden now has more than 5.3 million more popular votes than Trump currently has. I want you to listen to the president who framed the results then. This is in the aftermath of his victory in 2016.
We had a tremendous landslide electoral college victory, like people haven't seen in a long time. Not only did we win the election, we had an electoral college landslide. Okay, it was a landslide. We had an electoral college, as you know, Congressman, we had a landslide, 306 to 223. We had a landslide. They lost an election and they lost it big. It was really a landslide from the electoral college standpoint. He only got upset about it after the results were very conclusive, 306 to 223.
And then it got bigger and bigger and wilder and wilder. And then we won by a lot. Don't forget, it was 306 to 223. That's a lot.
We had a massive landslide victory, as you know, in the electoral college. This was an excuse for the Democrats who lost an election, who actually got their ass kicked. 306 to 223. That's a pretty good shellacking.
Kept saying 223. Hillary Clinton wound up with 232, just as he's going to wind up with right now. Governor Kasich, why can't he accept reality right now?
I think it's his nature, and I can't explain the guy. Maybe people are beginning to understand why I've never supported him, either when he was the nominee running the first time, or why I went to the Democrat convention and supported Joe Biden. And the fact of the matter is that I'm happy about this because it begins to make clear. They're saying he had about a 15,000 vote win in Georgia, probably approaching 100,000 in Pennsylvania, probably 150 in Michigan. And in Arizona has now been called. So, it's going to be very, very hard for people out there to say this was stolen. And I don't think they have many legal challenges left, and it's pretty clear. Now, I will say this. I will say nobody should be dancing and thinking they've got it all figured out. I think both parties' challenge is this. Who can lay out a vision for the country, and frankly, a centrist vision for the country that can create stability so that each time we turn around, there's not so many ticket splitters and we go back and forth. We got to see which party is capable of connecting with the vast majority of the American people. That's the challenge for both the Democrats